Remember when grabbing dinner from the grocery store hot bar felt like a smart parenting hack? Quick, seemingly healthy, and the kids could see exactly what they were getting. But what you can't see behind those sneeze guards might make you think twice about ever filling that paper container again. Because while those warming trays look clean and the food appears fresh, some of the biggest grocery chains in America are playing fast and loose with your family's safety. And once you hear what former employees are saying about what really goes on in those kitchen prep areas, you might decide that cooking at home isn't such a hassle after all. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button because what you're about to learn could save your family from foodborne illness and protect your grocery budget from these overpriced disappointments. Let's start with a surprising offender. Whole Foods built its empire on the promise of healthy, fresh, organic food. But behind those beautiful displays and $15 per pound price tags lies a dirty secret that would make you sick to your stomach. Let's start with those gorgeous organic salads that look like they belong in a magazine. Here's what Whole Foods doesn't want you to know. Those greens have often been sitting there since yesterday. One former Austin location manager told me they had a system they called salad flipping, taking the wilted brown lettuce from the bottom of the container and mixing it with fresh greens on top. We'd get written up if our waste numbers were too high, so we'd take lettuce that should have been thrown away and just mix it in with the new stuff. But the salad bar is nothing compared to the soup situation. Those artisanal soups sitting in those warming containers are basically bacterial breeding grounds. I've seen cream-based soups develop a thick skin on top that employees would just stir back in when no one was looking. One worker described it as soup leather. And that's what your kids might be eating. The sodium levels will blow your mind. That innocent-looking quinoa salad, it contains more salt than a Big Mac. Their healthy grain bowls are loaded with enough sodium to make your blood pressure monitor explode. Parents choosing these options, thinking they're doing right by their families, are actually poisoning them with salt. And don't get me started on the use of heat lamps. I watched a chicken dish sit under those lamps for 6 hours straight. By the end, it looked like chicken jerky. But instead of throwing it away, they'd move it to a different section of the hot bar with a fresh label. Suddenly, that 6-hour-old chicken became freshly prepared. At $15 per pound, you're paying restaurant prices for food that's been sitting around longer than leftovers in your fridge. This California grocer became Instagram famous for selling a $30 jug of electrolyte water and a single $20 Japanese strawberry. So you'd think their $25 per pound hot bar would be absolutely perfect, right? Wrong. It's like paying luxury car prices for a bicycle with fancy paint. If they're charging $20 for one strawberry, you'd expect their salad bar to be top tier. Instead, it's highway robbery disguised as wellness culture. Their tofu situation is absolutely disgusting. I've seen customers bite into what should be hot steaming tofu only to find it's barely lukewarm inside. That's not just disappointing, that's dangerous. Tofu sitting in the temperature danger zone becomes a playground for bacteria. One former employee told me they spent more time making the food look pretty for social media than actually keeping it safe. Everything had to be perfect for the Instagram crowd. We'd arrange and rearrange the display while the food got cold. The quinoa is a joke. I've seen it sitting in those warming trays so long it turns into mush. It's like paying $25 a pound for baby food. Kids take one bite and spit it out, but parents keep buying it because the Erewhon name makes them feel sophisticated. And the reheated proteins? They reheat the same chicken 3 or 4 times throughout the day. By dinner time, that chicken has been cooked, cooled, reheated, cooled, and reheated again. It's like culinary torture, and you're paying premium prices to be the victim. When you're charging $20 for a single piece of fruit, people expect perfection. Instead, they're getting overpriced disappointment that looks good on Instagram, but tastes like expensive cafeteria food. Bristol Farms wants you to think you're shopping at some fancy European market, but their hot bar is more like a high school cafeteria with better lighting. Their chicken is cooked to death. I'm talking leather-tough, sawdust-dry chicken that your kids will refuse to eat. One former kitchen worker told me they overcook everything because they're terrified of undercooking, but the result is protein that could double as shoe leather. The healthy vegetables are swimming in oil. That innocent-looking roasted broccoli, it's been doused with so much oil it's basically deep-fried. Parents think they're giving their kids vegetables, but they're actually serving them oil with a side of green stuff. And the really gross part is they take food that's been sitting in coolers all day and rotate it onto the hot bar during dinner rush. So that fresh dinner you're buying for your family, it might have been prepared at 6 a.m. One supervisor admitted they'd take trays that should have been thrown away and mix them with fresher food to stretch the product. The vegetables look beautiful when you first see them, but within minutes under those heat lamps, they turn into green mush. It's like watching a time-lapse video of food decay, except you're paying gourmet prices to watch it happen. The pricing structure adds to the disappointment. At premium prices comparable to upscale restaurants, families expect exceptional quality, but receive cafeteria-level execution with gourmet presentation. Everyone loves Publix, and the store enjoys tremendous customer loyalty throughout the Southeast. Their subs are legendary, their fried chicken is famous, and their customer service is top-notch. But their hot bar, that's where the magic dies. Let's talk about their mac and cheese, the holy grail of kid food. I've seen that mac and cheese sit under heat lamps so long it develops a thick, rubbery skin on top. Employees would just scrape off the skin and keep serving what was underneath. One worker told me, the mac and cheese would get so crusty on top, we'd have to use a spatula to break through it. But corporate said as long as the bottom was still creamy, we could keep serving it. The famous Publix fried chicken becomes a shadow of its former self on the hot bar. That crispy coating turns soggy, the meat dries out, and what was once delicious becomes something your dog wouldn't eat. Kids who love Publix chicken from the deli counter won't touch the hot bar version. And those potato wedges? They turn into leather. I'm not exaggerating. They become so tough you could use them as hockey pucks. But they keep serving them because throwing them away hurts the profit margins. A former Publix deli manager revealed the rotation challenges. The hot bar was always the problem child of our department. Food would sit too long, especially during slow periods, but corporate pressure to minimize waste meant we'd keep serving items that should have been discarded. The worst part? No allergen labeling. Parents with kids who have food allergies are playing Russian roulette every time they buy from the Publix hot bar. Cross-contamination is everywhere, but there's no way to know what's safe. Wegmans used to be the gold standard. People would drive hours just to shop at Wegmans, but their hot bar has become a cautionary tale of what happens when a company grows too fast. Their massive hot bar looks impressive until you realize they can't keep all that food at proper temperatures. I've seen soups that are boiling hot on one side and lukewarm on the other. It's like food roulette. You never know if you're getting the safe portion or the bacteria breeding portion. Those cream soups develop a thick skin that looks like plastic wrap. Instead of throwing it away, employees stir it back in. One former kitchen supervisor told me, we'd joke that the soup skin was like a protective barrier, but really it was just gross. Their Indian and Asian dishes are a disaster waiting to happen. Complex dishes with multiple ingredients sitting in warming trays for hours. Some parts are scorching hot, while others are in the danger zone. It's like playing bacterial lottery with your family's dinner. The chicken dishes that made Wegmans famous become dry, flavorless disappointments under those heat lamps. What should be juicy, flavorful chicken turns into something that tastes like it was cooked yesterday because it probably was. Sprouts markets itself as the healthy alternative, but their hot bar is more like a health food graveyard. Everything looks clean and natural until you actually taste it. Their rice is a disaster. I've seen brown rice sitting in those warming trays so long it forms a crust on top. It's like rice jerky. Kids take one bite and refuse to eat another. One employee told me they'd spray water on the rice to make it look fresh, but underneath it was still dried out and crusty. The vegetables are overcooked to mush. These are supposed to be the healthy options parents are choosing for their families, but they've been cooked so long they've lost all nutritional value. It's like paying premium prices for baby food. And the soups? Half the time, they're barely warm. I've seen customers complain that the soup was cold, only to be told that's how we serve it. Cold soup isn't just disappointing, it's dangerous. The whole operation feels like an afterthought. While they're focused on their beautiful produce section, the hot bar gets minimal attention and staff. The result is food that looks like it belongs in a hospital cafeteria, not a health food store. Kroger's hot bar is what happens when corporate bean counters design a food operation. Their vast network of stores, including Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and other subsidiaries, has implemented limited buffet-style bars. Everything is about cutting costs, and quality is just a casualty. Most of their hot bar food starts as frozen, pre-made products that get reheated in-store. You're paying $10 to $12 per pound for frozen dinners that have been thawed and warmed up. It's like buying TV dinners at restaurant prices. The rotation is a joke. Food sits in those warming trays until it's gone, regardless of how long that takes. I've seen the same tray of green beans sit there for an entire day. By closing time, those green beans looked like they'd been through a war. One former deli supervisor told me, everything was about cutting costs. We used the cheapest ingredients, had minimal staff, and the equipment barely worked. But corporate didn't care as long as the margins looked good. The lack of fresh preparation means families are paying premium prices for reheated frozen food. Items that appear to be made in-store are actually mass-produced in industrial facilities, then shipped frozen to stores for reheating. This process eliminates the freshness and quality that families expect from grocery store prepared foods. The temperature control is so bad it's scary. Lukewarm food everywhere, which is basically an invitation for bacteria to throw a party. Parents feeding this to their kids are taking serious risks with their family's health. Harris Teeter's hot bar represents a particular disappointment for families in the Southeast who expect Southern hospitality to extend to food quality. However, their prepared foods operation reveals cost-cutting measures that compromise both safety and taste. Their fried chicken is a tragedy. What should be crispy and delicious becomes soggy and greasy under those heat lamps. It's like they took everything good about Southern fried chicken and destroyed it. Kids expecting that crispy crunch get limp. Disappointing chicken that goes straight in the trash. The vegetables are overcooked to death. Green beans that should have some bite become mushy, flavorless mush. It's like they're trying to make kids hate vegetables. And the casseroles? They develop thick skins on top while staying lukewarm underneath. That mac and cheese your kids are excited about? It's got a rubbery layer on top that you have to break through to get to the barely warm cheese underneath. One manager told me, we were trying to compete with higher-end stores while keeping Kroger-level costs. Something had to give, and it was always the food quality. The pricing structure creates poor value for families. At $8 to $10 per pound, Harris Teeter's hot bar prices approach restaurant levels while delivering cafeteria quality execution. Families expecting Southern comfort food quality receive disappointing alternatives that don't justify the premium pricing. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be this way. While other grocery chains are cutting corners and serving up disappointment, H-E-B proves you can do hot bars right without charging your firstborn child. Let's start with something revolutionary. You can actually see the thermometers. H-E-B doesn't hide their temperature monitoring like it's some state secret. Those digital displays showing 145 degrees Fahrenheit are proof that someone actually gives a damn about keeping your family safe. Their rotation system will blow your mind. 2 hours maximum. That's it. After 2 hours, food gets pulled, regardless of cost. I watched an HEB manager remove perfectly good-looking chicken because it hit the 2-hour mark. We'd rather eat the cost than have a customer eat bad food. Compare that to Whole Foods keeping chicken under heat lamps for 6 hours, or Wegmans stirring soup skin back into the pot. Most of their hot bar food is actually made fresh in store that day, not reheated frozen garbage like Kroger, not yesterday's leftovers mixed with today's batch. Fresh food, prepared that morning, served at safe temperatures, with clear labeling showing exactly when it was made. The pricing makes everyone else look like highway robbers. At $6 to $8 per pound, you're getting food that tastes better than most restaurants. Meanwhile, Erewhon is charging $25 for reheated mush and calling it artisanal. One HEB kitchen supervisor explains, "We treat every customer like they're our own family. Would I serve this to my kids? If the answer is no, then we don't serve it to yours." And it works. HEB's hot bars are packed because people trust them. Families drive past other grocery stores because they know the food will be safe, fresh, and actually taste good. HEB proves you can run a profitable hot bar without cutting corners or charging premium prices for substandard food. Every other chain is just choosing not to care about your family's safety. At $8 to $25 per pound, these hot bars charge restaurant prices for food that's often less safe than what you'd get at a gas station hot dog roller. A typical family dinner costs $40 to $80 with no guarantee of freshness or safety. Parents could prepare higher quality meals at home for a fraction of the cost while ensuring proper food handling and nutrition. Your kids deserve better than reheated frozen food served at gourmet prices. They deserve better than vegetables cooked to mush and proteins dried to leather. And you deserve to know that the healthy options you're choosing aren't loaded with enough sodium to pickle a cucumber. The waste alone should make you furious. How many times have you bought hot bar food that your kids refuse to eat? You're paying twice. Once for the disappointing food, and again when you have to cook something else because your family won't eat what you brought home. Stop falling for the convenience trap. That quick dinner from the hot bar isn't saving you time if you have to cook something else when your kids won't eat it. Trust your eyes and nose. If food looks dried out, separated, or just plain wrong, don't buy it. No amount of organic labeling or gourmet pricing makes bad food good. Ask questions. When was this made? How long has it been sitting there? Most employees will tell you the truth if you ask directly. But honestly, your best bet is to skip these overpriced disappointments entirely. Grab some fresh ingredients and spend 15 minutes cooking something your family will actually eat. Your wallet and your family's health will thank you. Because at the end of the day, the most expensive meal is the one that makes your family sick. And these hot bars are serving up expensive disappointment with a side of potential food poisoning. Your family deserves better than that. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening at the hot bar in your local grocery store, share it with someone who still thinks that quick salad for lunch is a good idea. Hit that subscribe button if you want to stay informed about what's really in your food. Thanks for watching.